Hello, my friends. It's Ranger Russ from the Meigs Nature Center, coming to you today with another one of my favorite animals. Before we get into that, though, let's wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving week. We're coming up onto Thanksgiving, and as part of our Thanksgiving programming, we're going to be doing some programs that are related in some way to Thanksgiving. So let's remind everybody, Connecticut state parks are open, and we really encourage you to get out, visit the state parks, enjoy the state parks. But you still need to maintain your social distance. So if you cannot keep 6 feet apart, then you do need to wear a mask. And any face covering is good, but an actual mask is much better than something like this. So we really encourage you to do that. But get out and do some hiking. When it's windy like today, you need to dress in layers. You need to have some sort of windbreak as well. So remember to stay safe and enjoy Connecticut state parks. All right, are we ready to do the animal today? Now, this is going to be a little bit different than the regular animals that I do. So I'm going to put up some of the parts of the animal, and then you can guess off of that. Where normally we do a pelt and a skull and like that, this is going to be different. So let's put them up. And if you have a guess, you can put it up anytime. Also, please put up where you're messaging from. I already see my mom is on here, and we've got Michigan. So let's look at the first piece. So this is a bone from the animal. Now, it should have both sides like this. So normally this would have both sides like this. Okay. And I'm going to tell you right off that this is not a skull. Many times people find this part and bring it in. For other animals, it's bigger or smaller, but they look at it and you see these holes. They look like eye holes. This looks like a nose. This is not. So, do we have any guesses so far? I see Westbrook. Well, Nancy, I hope you're doing better now. All right, so no guesses yet. That's a tough one. Let's look at... I'm trying to pick which ones we should... Oh. Well, this actually doesn't help at all, but that's pretty cool. Look at that. It's part of our animal. This is also part of the animal. Remember, it has to do with Thanksgiving. Kind of a giveaway. Here we go. Let's look at this one. This should help you out. Right? Anybody recognize that? Doesn't go like this. Does look like a shark fin, though. How about, well, lots of animals have these, so this isn't a very big help. How about that? It is a breastbone, and it is a turkey. Okay, so today's favorite animal is a turkey. Obviously, we've got Thanksgiving coming up. And across the country, we will eat, not me because I'm a vegetarian, but we consume about 22 million turkeys for Thanksgiving. Christmas is only about 19 million. So you're looking at 41 million turkeys are eaten just Christmas and Thanksgiving. So that's a lot of turkeys. Now, turkey is a species. What I'm going to do as we go is we're going to try and build this animal. Okay, so I'm going to pan it down. And we'll try and do sort of a layout of the animal. And let's see, I'm going to do it upside down so it's right side up for you guys. So this would go here. This is the breastbone. Somebody got that right. Oh, this would have been a big giveaway if I showed you that. The wishbone, that's going to go up here. And then this is actually the pelvis. So that does get confusing for people when they see these. The pelvises of birds really look like skulls, and others look even more like skulls than this one does. So let's see, this would be about here. This is going to be the back of our bird. So here's our skull. We'll put that over here. Breastbone goes there. This is where the ribs come off of. So this is not easy upside down. But let's see, this goes like... There we go. Okay. So that's... the ribs would come off of that. And I'm not seeing any ribs right now. There is a bag of small bones over here. Someone brought me this skeleton years ago, and I actually have never taken it out for a program. Other people have used it for programs, but I never had the opportunity to. So this is really fun for me. I get to do this. Oh, let's talk about this. The spurs. And I showed you the sheath of a spur as one of the things I held up. We'll see if we can find those. But there is a sort of a sheath, sort of like a fingernail sheath that covers the spurs. Now, both male and female have the spurs, but the males are very much larger. This is probably then, we're going to say this is a male or a tom turkey, or if it's a juvenile, it's a jake. All right. Now, turkeys breed, they begin to pair up January and February. The females have lay their eggs about a month after that. So by the end of February, they should have bred, and then a month later. So by the end of March, they're laying their eggs. And then I think it's another month after that before the eggs hatch. So, oh, here's the sheath. So this would go on the outside of one of the spurs. And the males, their entire investment into reproduction is over once breeding is done. Then they're off on their own. They're going to try and... they will gather together in groups, but usually it's that is not during breeding season that they do that. So here's an interesting thing. This bone... can't tell if this is gnawed on. It doesn't look like it's gnawed on. Maybe it got stepped on, but I believe this was a domestic turkey. So these are the leg bones, though. This is the upper part of the leg. That's the lower part of the leg. And then these are the mid leg. So let's do it like this. There we go. Actually, we only need one set of those out. Now, my son asked me the other day why domestic turkeys are white and the wild turkeys are that beautiful bronze color. And farmers did that intentionally years ago because when you pluck the white feathers, it's more, the little pin feathers that are left behind are more attractive than the brown feathers. So it's only a matter of trying to sell your turkey. That's why there's no fresh turkey the rest of the year. Yeah, we eat them all at Christmas and Thanksgiving. Now, the population of turkeys now is excellent. At its lowest point, the population was down to 30,000 turkeys. Imagine that, 30,000 turkeys across the entire country. And that would have been back in the 30s and the 40s. And that was habitat destruction and hunting. So if you think Connecticut at that time, most of the state of Connecticut was clear cut. So that takes away from the turkey's habitat. Nowadays we have much more or a much better habitat for turkeys than they did then. So this would go into here, okay? And then these are the wing bones. These are the major wing bones. Not quite sure where to put the wing bones. We'll put those here, okay? There's another wing. We don't need both wings out here. So the population of turkeys now, so they went in the 70s, it was like 1.3 million. And I think that number that I found was 1973. But now the population of turkeys, and it depends on your source. I really enjoy the University of Michigan has an excellent resource for animals. I do a lot of my research from that website. They say 5 point something million. I think it's up to 5.5 million. Other research that I found says 6 million, or sorry, yeah, 6 million turkeys. I have to be careful of my numbers because I very often flip or add zeros to numbers. So yeah, it's about 5 point something million turkeys to 6 million turkeys in the country. And apparently, I forgot to mute my phone. All right. So these are the vertebrae, and you're going to have most of your vertebrae are going from here to the head. So these are the neck vertebrae. There will be a few. Here they are. Oh, and they're cool. They're still stuck together. A few little tiny ones that come off here to the tail. All right. Now, we were talking about the spur and the difference between male and female. Another difference, both male and female have a beard. It's just some long feathers right in the chest. But the beard of the males is much larger than the beard of the females. Okay? Also, like the spurs, they're larger. But another major difference is that the females, they have different scat. So you can tell a male from a female by their scat. The female's scat is a spiral, very curly. The male's is usually larger and longer and straighter, usually just a little J at the end. So if you think of a J for the male, and a spiral for the female. Now, in turkeys, the male is quite substantially larger, up to twice the weight. A wild turkey is going to get up to about 24 pounds, and a female is going to be about half that. So there's another big difference, is the size. Let's move these little tinies over here. So many of these bones, these small ones, would fit together to form larger bones and plates around the body. So we're going to get those out of the way because we're not going to need those. This, I believe, there we go, goes like this. So the ulna and the radius, which are our forearms, this is the upper arm, and then they have an extended, or wait, is this the upper arm? That looks like a knee joint. Oh, maybe this is the wing. No, that looks like a knee joint too. I think, though, that the longer bone... No. All right, time for me to cheat. That goes like that. I do have a diagram of... Yes. So I was right the first time. This goes here, and then this would have small bones off of it as well. So that's getting into, that's like our wrist. All right, let's see, we've got some questions or comments? Saw a turkey that actually had a pole sticking out of the middle of its back. Someone tried to catch it. So I've never heard of people trying to use a pole. I have heard of birds skewering themselves by flying and then landing. Turkeys do fly. So that's a big misconception. Most people think that turkeys have no ability to fly. The first time I saw a turkey on the ground, I was probably like 22 years old. Every time I had seen one before that, it was actually flying. So for most people, it's the other way around. You see turkeys on the ground all the time. They're a 24-pound bird, so you're not thinking that they can fly. But they can fly, and they can fly very quickly. 55 miles an hour is the top speed for a turkey. So I would guess that a turkey flew and landed on a pole. That actually reminds me of a little story. One time here in the park, we have some residents here on the edge of the park where park staff are able to rent a house. And the person that has the house has sheep, and she had an electric fence around the sheep. And I was driving past, and there was a turkey stuck in the electric fence. Now, this is one of those movable, portable electric fences. And I went over. I didn't see where the electric fence disconnected. So I thought I just needed to get that turkey out of there. So I start working on the turkey. And if you're familiar with an electric fence, they send jolts every few seconds. So I start working, no jolts. I thought, oh, maybe the electric fence is off. But then we get jolted. The turkey goes and I go, and the turkey freaks out because it just got electrocuted. Electric charge goes away, and I start working again. And I get another jolt and another jolt. So something like every 20 seconds or so, I got a jolt as I tried to free this turkey. The turkey was getting jolted too and would flap around, and neither one of us were very happy. But I was successful, got the turkey out of the electric fence. It made a mess of the electric fence. It was kind of tangled up. But then our park staff person that lived there came along, and when I told her the story, she told me how where the disconnect was, and it was right around the corner under a tree, or just behind a tree or a bush, which I couldn't see. So if I had walked 15 feet over to the side, I would have seen the disconnect, and neither one of us would have been jolted as I rescued the turkey from the electric fence. So I have been zapped many times by electric fences. All right, now let's see if I missed any other questions here. I'm not sure what Rosemary's question is relating to. All right, I think we're up to date. Okay, so again, turkeys can fly. They're good flyers. The young cannot fly, though. So after breeding, the males go off on their own. They don't care about the eggs or the babies. Females lay the different scat. So the different scat has mostly to do with the weight of the bird. The males eat a lot more. It makes the scat larger, which when it comes out, it makes it longer and thinner, or longer and thicker. The females, because it's so much thinner and smaller, it curls when it comes out. So just a little thing there. All right, I got distracted with the scat because I find that very amusing, that the little spirals of scat. So after the females lay their eggs, they will stay. Now, the females go off. They're ground nesting birds. They can fly and land in trees, and I've seen them roosting overnight in trees. But after they lay their eggs, or when they choose their nesting site, it's going to be in lots of ground cover, thick briars, a thicket, something like that, thick brush. That's where they like to lay their eggs. They take care of the eggs for, again, it's about 30 days, give or take. When the eggs hatch, they're only in the nest for about 24 hours, and then they can start running around. They can't fly yet, but they are out of the nest and they're following the females. What happens next is one of the most interesting things, and turkeys aren't the only ones to do it. I find this absolutely fascinating. Other animals will do it as well, but they lay their eggs all off on their own. They nest completely by themselves. When the babies are now moving around, the females will find each other and they will gather together in larger and larger groups so that the females, all of the babies will merge together. The females will collectively take care of the young. That gives you a whole lot more eyes on your babies. You're looking out for predators. You're keeping the young together. It's just a much higher chance of survival. So I think that's pretty cool that they will do that. And the females usually will be around the outer edges or in the front of the group, and they move them around place to place as they forage for food. What do they eat? About 90% of their diet are going to be seeds, acorns, nuts, things like that. The other 10%, they'll eat salamanders and insects. So anything small enough to eat, and they're ground feeders, they're ground foragers. So anything that's on the ground, that's what they're going to like to eat. What eats a turkey? Everything that can catch them. Everything from skunks. You wouldn't think of a skunk being able to eat them. Typically, though, a skunk is a nest raider, and skunks are all eating on the ground, so that's why skunks can eat them. But raccoons will eat them, coyote, fox, hawks. Even a peregrine falcon could take out a turkey. Now, typically, that's not going to happen because peregrines hunt in the open and turkeys tend to stay in tree cover, but a peregrine has the capability of taking down a full-size turkey. But other birds of prey definitely will eat turkeys. Great horned owls are a huge predator on turkeys. At one time, I was working with our wildlife division tracking turkeys. So we actually had this little backpack. Boy, I could tell you stories about tracking turkeys. There's a little backpack with an antenna that goes down the tail of the turkey. It straps around their wings. It's very thin. When I say backpack, it's just, that means the transmitter is on their back. But when you found a turkey that had been eaten by a great horned owl, about 90% of the time, the only part that the owl eats is the head of the turkey. The rest of it is, it's big. They may pick on it a little bit, but they just bite the head off and they could swallow this whole. So very often that's all that they eat. They're only supposed to have 7 neck vertebrae. I've got 8 vertebrae here. So one of these is probably not a neck vertebrae. We'll just put that over there. Pretend like there's only 7. All right. So what else can I tell you about turkeys? I do find turkeys fascinating. One of the things, Thanksgiving was created by Lincoln in 1863. Before Lincoln, so turkeys have been in politics, because before Lincoln, Benjamin Franklin, the theory or the story is that Franklin wanted the turkey to be the national emblem. That is actually not accurate at all. Benjamin Franklin was writing a letter to his daughter, and that's where people say, oh, he wanted the turkey to be our national emblem. He did not like the national emblem, and he said that the eagle that they were drawing on the national emblem looked like a turkey. So, however, many people think, because of that story, that Benjamin Franklin admired the intelligence of turkeys. If you think of it, if you compare the eagle, the bald eagle, and the turkey, turkeys are much more intelligent in their behavior. A bald eagle is really just a gigantic scavenger. They're a big bully that chase other birds away from food to get most of their food. Turkeys are out there, they're searching for food, they're intelligent because they can avoid predation, they have to avoid predation. You know, we just talked about gathering their young together. Also, they have a really cool thing that they do, and I don't know if Franklin even knew about this, but they've got a wattle and a snoot. I always pronounce that wrong. I think it's pronounced a snoot. The snoot comes from above their nose and the wattle is below their throat. Typically, you think of them as being red with like a little bluish tinge around the back of their head. But the wattle and the snoot will change blue when they're scared. So when they're happy and healthy, it's going to be a nice bright red. When they're not feeling so good, it's going to be sort of gray. When they're scared, it's going to be blue. So it's like a mood ring for a turkey. If you ever see a turkey out there, you can do the... Oh, another difference between male and female. The females do not gobble. They make clicking noises and other noises, but the males are the only ones that really gobble. So when you think of that gobble, 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 I'm not even going to attempt to mimic the call. I'm not good at bird calls. The males are the ones that gobble. The females do not gobble. So I found that interesting as well. All right. Do we have any questions? My mom says females are so smart. What else do we have? I don't see any other questions. So I think I've told you a lot about turkeys. So I'm going to remind everybody, we're going to continue to do these programs Tuesday through Friday at 11 o'clock. Thanksgiving, I intend to do a program if I can find something in the woods. We're having a late Thanksgiving this year at my house, so I'll probably go out. Usually I like to go out after Thanksgiving dinner, after you eat a big meal, try and get some exercise and some fresh air. I think this year I'll be doing that before dinner, because we're eating late this year, but that's going to be cool anyway. And I'll try and find something that we can talk about in the woods near my house. We'll just wander around and see what's out there. Friday, I'll be back though. We'll do a program on Friday. And the park is open. Keep that in mind. Thanksgiving Day, day after Black Friday, which I don't think is really happening this year. But the park is going to be open. So if you want to get out and get some fresh air after that tryptophan from the turkeys starts to hit you, you can head out. I don't know where that word came from. I don't believe I just remembered that word. You can head out and get some fresh air and exercise, work that out of your system before it makes you too sleepy. All right. If you missed any of these programs live, you can view them on YouTube. Please subscribe to the Meigs Point Nature Center YouTube channel. You can also see the videos on our website, meigspointnaturecenter.org. If you do, please visit the Virtual Learning Center, because along with the videos, you will see other educational materials. Like for this video, we'll put up the image of the skeleton of the turkey, and you can see what the put together skeleton really looks like. So I encourage you all to continue to watch these videos, enjoy these videos. Let your friends know about them. Let students know about them. I know that there are some schools and homeschool groups that are using the videos for education, so that's why I'm doing them. Please continue to pass it along to everyone you know. And hopefully you all enjoy your holiday. I will be doing a program tomorrow. We're going to do a Thanksgiving craft program. And I've already changed my mind twice, so I'm not going to tell you what it is, because I'll probably change my mind again as to which. There are so many Thanksgiving crafts out there. We'll see which one we do for tomorrow. Maybe we'll do one that you can use as a centerpiece on your Thanksgiving table. So until tomorrow, this is Ranger Russ signing off from the Meigs Point Nature Center. Enjoy the rest of your day.